Hello everyone, welcome back to Rain and Pours. I'm Mitch. I'm doing another painting today, and I have a really cool little gold and turquoise inspired color palette. So at the moment I'm almost finished reading through the series The Kingdom of Ash. It's a series by Sarah J Maas, and it's one of my favorite book series. And in the books, the characters are described as having Ashryver eyes, and Ashryver eyes are a core of gold surrounded by turquoise, and they do go really well together. And Emilia Clarke apparently has this exact eye color combination. So if you're a fan of Emilia Clarke, check out her eyes. This is what they're trying to replicate. Now, of course, because in the book they are fairy characters or fairy characters, I imagine the color to be much brighter than what it actually would be in real life. So we're going to give it a go, see how I can make that happen with a bloom. And I'm hoping to get a solid core of gold with turquoise on the outside. I'm even thinking, if I'm successful with this, going a bit bigger and painting an actual eye. So adding in some details. So I'll take you down onto the spinner and we'll see what we can make. Okay, so I have my 25 centimeter round here. This is a placemat, and it's just an MDF placemat, so you can use whatever you like, really. I hate that this little stand wobbles all the time. So this is the color combination I'm working with today, plus these. Okay, so I'll go through each color in the order that I'm going to put them down, I think. So I'm going to start off with Pearlex Nox Gold. This is very similar to This Little Piggy Zeus, except Zeus is more rich, it's more deep, it's more dark. I love Zeus over Nox Gold, but I had this mixed up. This is what I was using before Shelee created Zeus. And Zeus is my color, and because I love this so much, I asked her to make one in TLP. So very similar. I'm using DecoArt 24 karat gold, but I have mixed in This Little Piggy ore. A lot of people rave about 24 karat gold. I'm not that much of a fan. It's very lackluster for me. So I always have to bolster it with something, and this time I've done This Little Piggy ore. Please excuse the sniffly nose as well. It's winter here and everyone's getting sick at the moment. I have This Little Piggy Brulee, which is a gorgeous interference copper color. I have This Little Piggy Ball Gown Interference Gold. Then I have Matisse Aqua Green Light, which is a tube paint. I have Matisse Southern Ocean Blue. I have This Little Piggy Lagoon and Sheleeart Phthalo Turquoise, so also a tube paint. Then in this little container here, I'll get these off the spinner, I'm going to use Matisse Metallic Gold Cell Activator. And in this little container here, I have mixed up, they're from a company called Vonkachez, so Vonkachez, and she's got these, what she calls magic pigments. They're like a micro glitter, and they're very, very sparkly. You only need a little bit. There's that little bit that got stuck before. You only need a little bit in here, and it just adds a really nice, incredible sparkle. So I don't know if you can see it, but I have mixed up some of that and some This Little Piggy Twinkle, which in her pigments is called Moonlight. So it's very similar, but if you don't have it, you can mix in Twinkle. So we're going to pour these down and see how we go. I'm just going to use a white base for this today. We'll see how we go with that. Okay. Just giving my pillow a little swoosh around to mix it up. And here we go. So you can find all of the Little Piggy pigments at fluid-art.co, and you can learn how to do this technique at sheleeart.com.au, and be sure to register for the Sheleeart Australian event if you're in Australia. We're finally having one. It's like our little PorCon. So if you're interested in attending, please register your interest there and you'll get sent all the information as it gets released. Now I am thinking I want something full coverage with this, so I'm going to put down quite a bit of paint in terms of colour. So the order that you put your paints down, whatever is first on the canvas is what's going to be in the center of your bloom. So we're going with Nox Gold first, 24 karat gold. I do want lots of shimmer to this one as well. Brulee, ball gown, then I think I'm going to do the aqua green light. Oh, I also have Sheleeart Interference Turquoise. I forgot that one. So aqua green light is an opaque colour, so just have to be careful where you lay that. I might do Lagoon next. Then I'm going to do the Vonka Ches pigment. It just needs a little bit of water to thin down. Because it's cold here, the paints are a lot thicker than what they normally would be. So I'm hoping this is just going to add some sparkle to it. On top of all the piggies. Then we'll do Phthalo Turquoise. Oops, sorry. Interference Turquoise by Sheleeart. Then we're finishing up with 2 tube paints. I do not want to put the Phthalo Turquoise directly under my cell activator because I don't like the colour it throws when it mixes with the gold. So I'm going to put the Southern Ocean Blue directly under the cell activator. Also, apologies for the hissing sounds in the background. That is my washing machine going. Let's do that. And let's see how we go with a pure gold cell activator. And I'm going to blow this out. Let me put my little tassels away into my jacket so they don't go in my blue. Okay, there we go. Looks like I blew too hard into my pillow and I've brought up pillow paint. So that can also mean that my colours are a bit too thick. So I'm just going to add a squirt of water into all of them to thin them down. Because I don't want pillow paint to come up. Let's give it a spin and see what we end up with. It's super pretty. Don't know if you can see all that gorgeous sparkle in there. You know what? It's not too bad, the pillow paint in the middle. This one may end up being a keeper. I'm just spinning to get the edges off. And that's looking pretty cool. I really like that. I've got that solid core of gold. The gold cell activator is working really well. It's blending in with everything underneath as well, which is cool. And forming those really nice cells. So I'm going to put this one aside and let's do a second. All right, so I've got another round here. I've just thinned out my paints a little bit. And it could be that my pillow is slightly thinner than what it should be. That we didn't get that super solid core and that pillow came up when I blew everything out. So we're just going to try again with slightly thinner paints this time. I'm going to use my little straw to blow out the middle. Just a tiny bit. And let's spin this and see what we get. I don't think we've got that core of solid gold that I'm after. Definitely pretty. It's a very pretty color combination, but I'm getting that white coming up, which I don't want. I want the gold to be underneath, but I am getting really interesting pockets where the bubbles are popping of the gold underneath. So I think what I need to do is do a faux pillow of gold, or even a gold pillow, and see what we can get with that. So let's rework some things. We'll be right back. Okay, so I've decided I'm just going to go straight over the top of this, and we're going to do a faux gold pillow twice. And I'll explain what that means. So I'm going to pour just regular white pillow straight over the top. Enough to get me another bloom. Now, taking into account that there is still paint on here, so I'm not going to put too much because it is going to be slippery already. And this time what I'm going to do is, with the Nox Gold, I am going to put that onto my swipe tool over here, and I'm going to make a faux pillow on the bottom and a faux pillow on the top. I really want the gold to show through all of that turquoise because the turquoise is overpowering at the moment. So I'm going to layer it here onto my swiper. Get a decent layer on there, and straight over the top. And I'm not going to clean it for the moment because we're going to do it again in just a second. Then let's go with an actual puddle of the gold. So it's there on the base. Then the 24 karat gold. Brulee's next. Ball gown. These paints are thickening super quickly. It must be really cold here in my studio and I don't realize it. Let's hold back on the aqua green colors. So aqua green light, lagoon, and lagoon is very bubbly, so what's happening is it's breaking up as it's drizzling off the stick, and that's just what happens after your paints have sat for a little while. They'll just go really weak, I guess, with the chemical bonds. I have that sparkly Vonka Ches pigment. The interference turquoise. Phthalo turquoise. And Southern Ocean blue. I haven't used Southern Ocean blue in so long and it's such a pretty colour. Okay, now I'm going to do a second faux pillow over the top of everything before I put down the cell activator. Okay, right to the edge with my glove. And here we go. Making like a gold sandwich. Alright, just scrape the rest back into the container so I don't waste it. Alright, and I'll clean that in a minute. Actually, I'll clean it now because then it will dry and it won't come off the scraper. I know how things go. Okay. Now, let's see if we get a better result with our gold cell activator. My CA is actually quite thick too. That is super cool. Okay, I'm loving this much better. Let's spin this out and see what we get. Very happy. Very, very happy so far. It may not be the Ashryver eyes I'm going for, but it's definitely got more of an eye look. Looks more like an iris. And with some details added in afterwards, once it's dry and I can paint on it, I think I can turn it into an eye and make it look really, really cool. Now I've noticed that the wood isn't centered, so I'm going to center that. The gold faux pillow is definitely doing it for me. Definitely doing something. Spinning off all the extra paint. Center still moving just a little bit, but holy cow, the cells are so three-dimensional. I'm loving that. We've got that core of solid gold with the turquoise all around it. And the way that I've blown it out with the different shapes on the edges, I actually quite like that they're not all perfectly formed petals. I'm just getting this little bit off here. That's fine. And I think I'm really happy with that. So let me take you down for a close-up and I'll show you what we're working with. Okay, here is the beautiful Ashryver eye, or my interpretation of the Ashryver eye. And if you haven't read this book series, I definitely encourage you to do so. It's a really interesting series. It's 8 books, I believe, and they're all fantastically written. And look at the depth and color in this. Now, my phone is actually making this look dark blue instead of turquoise, which I don't know why. But let's turn the flash on and show you all of the marvelous sparkle coming from this. And I don't know if you can actually see where that Vonka Ches pigment is just yet, but when it's dry, we'll come back and have a look. You may even see it in the... Oh, there we go. Okay, so in this little cell here, right in the center, those little flecks, those little green glittery flecks, that is that Vonka Ches pigment. So it's more like glitter than the shimmery sparkle of the pigment next to it. There's also a little cell over here that I just saw had that in there. But it's just going to add another little detail, and I will put some more of that pigment in the resin when I resin over this, because I do think I want to keep this one. So if you like what I'm doing here, guys, like and subscribe. This is my interpretation of the Ashryver eye, and I'm going to wait until this is dry and come back and edit this into an actual eye, and I will see you then to finish it. So if you like what I'm doing, like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.